let's take it away.
I'll just briefly introduce you. By which point, well, I mean, by that point, you'll know that we're live. So I'll introduce you, and then just give me a heads up when you want me to start the timer. Just give us a countdown, and obviously when time is coming up for the end of the run, and I'll start and stop the timer appropriately. Other than that, enjoy yourself, and yeah, best of luck.
Okay, let's take it away.
Go.
It's basically a variation of any percent that has a player clear Grand Prix mode from a clear memory card, and then clear the upcoming extra trial with the combo that was utilized at Grand Prix. The optimal combo for this is Pack Racing Club Assoluto. We'll be talking about the teams and the difficulties further ahead. So without further ado, let us begin. On my go, we can start the timer. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, good luck. Welcome to the real. So, I am Thrasher DBS. I was here last week showcasing Test Drive 4. We had a few commentators that Maverick had lined up potentially for this. Unfortunately, they could not make it, and now he's stuck with me. So, generally, what we got here is Ridge Racer Type 4. It's the last PlayStation 1 entry in the Ridge Racer franchise. So what we're starting here is pretty much the story here. So any percent plus extra, as he outlined, we are going through the entirety of Grand Prix mode and then the extra trial from which you unlock after beating the main Grand Prix mode with a team and manufacturer combination. So, Kiri's in Helter Skelter. What you might have seen there, he did what's called a rocket boost. Maverick, if you want to sort of explain what that is.
Sure. So what I did at the start of the race, I actually pulled 2 tricks at once. One of them is a rocket start, and the other one is the boost ride. So rocket start is self-explanatory. You have your car start off at near max speed. So you do a gear trick where you change your gears up to the maximum or close to the highest gear you can have with the car. And if you time it right, then your car will gain a massive burst of speed at the start. It's similar to Mario Kart's turbo start, however you want to call it. And the boost ride is you position your car in front of the rubber banding AI, because the AI cars are programmed to rubber band at the start of the race so they can get into their pre-programmed cycles. So doing that while the AI is speeding up, it will keep hitting behind you for a significant boost of speed at the start. This saves a lot of time. So these 2 tricks, they are only possible with the manual transmission. They are a must for speed runs here in R4 as a whole.
Yep, and that's pretty much what separates the casual players from the big boys in this speed game, essentially. So, the other thing to really go over as we're starting to get to the end of Helter Skelter here. So what Maverick is using, he's on emulator. What he's emulating, rather, is probably the right way to put it. He is emulating the Namco proprietary Negicon controller. So, the significance of that is, Namco kind of had a pay-to-win type of dealio back in the late 90s. At least it feels like it. So if you're playing on a regular DS1 or DS2 or, regular PlayStation controller, your acceleration and your steering inputs are hampered by, what would you say, about 20%? Somewhere in there?
Oh, I failed to get the boost ride. This is the hardest boost ride of the game.
Right.
The timing is extremely tight, but at least I got a backup boost ride here with the DRT car.
Yep. It's good to have a back runner to, you know, push you even if you miss the mappy car.
This will be difficult. Hold on.
Oof.
Not
That's
perfect.
a little bit of
It's fine.
That's a little bit of a spooky angle to attack that particular corner with.
Yeah, that's something you can do with the higher difficulties, by the way.
Right.
I don't have enough handling for that.
Yep, and as a DRT runner myself in this game, don't I know it?
Sorry about
the
that.
So the Negicon controller. So you are given the full breadth of your acceleration and steering inputs using that controller. Which, honestly, I feel some kind of way about that. I reckon I'm not alone in that particular sentiment. But, essentially, being able to emulate an Negicon controller ensures that you can use pretty much whatever controller you want and still reap the benefits of playing with Namco's proprietary Twisty controller. So, again, Maverick, would you say using a normal controller kind of hampers your inputs by about 20%, or would you say it's more than that?
I think it's about that. It's honestly, some cars are more hampered than others, as I found out. But as a whole, yeah, that was too tight. Well, basically, regardless of which car you use, you're gonna get nerfed. Some more than others. It all comes out to the in-game data of each car, because some cars, they have more power in some gears than others. So, for example, you have the Racing Team Sovalu Destroyer from Terrazi. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference. It's still very fast in the final race, but its handling gets absolutely dumpstered. It's already bad enough with the Negicon, but it doesn't corner for anything. It's still really fast though.
Yes.
But the drift cars in particular in the higher gears, their acceleration gets considerably reduced. To the point that it's barely, I don't think it's even optimal to use them with a DualShock controller. But as I found out not long ago, if you turn on the analog function of your DualShock controller, your car gets a boost in acceleration, but handling is not compensated. So you get So you get the speed boost benefit of a Negicon or special controllers like JawCon and the Ultra Racer, but you don't get the improved handling of them. So you're playing a very hard mode. Can I get this? Stay. You stay. Thanks.
Yep.
There we go.
And very solid start to Edge of the Earth. Very nice.
That's a hard boost ride too.
A lot of these boost rides just kind of as a spectator, like, always seem like, wow, holy cow. that seems just very, you know, odd. It feels like it'd be like edge of your seat type of nonsense. So, okay, yeah. So there's there's those advantages to using an Negicon as opposed to a normal controller. Let's see here. So,
in my case, I think it's worth mentioning that I'm using an actual Negicon. I have this adapter from eBay I got about 12 years ago.
Oh.
Very much bootlegged, but it works, so, yeah.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Almost a 105. Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
Oh,
far
we
as,
didn't talk about the new car mechanics of this game, right? This is worth mentioning.
we have not yet mentioned it. No. So we, as you can tell, for the past minute and a half, Maverick's been in a different car than what he used for the first two races. So, the way unlocking cars works in this game, you can only really unlock cars by doing Grand Prix mode or doing the extra trials, and those are, to unlock the very specific extra trial cars. So, the other 19 cars in every single tree are unlocked through a certain progression system that's based on how quickly you complete each set of stages in the heats. So, in general, if you win every single race, you're fast enough to pretty much earn the best car you can for that specific heat. Now, granted, this does vary from manufacturer to manufacturer, team to team even sometimes. But in general, the fastest cars are netted from, setting the fastest time, clearing the fastest time threshold. So the Heat 1 cars are always the same vehicles. So if you're playing as Lizard, you get the Bonfire. If you're playing as Assoluto, like Maverick's doing right now, you start off with
Promessa.
Goodness me, Promessa. I was searching in my head for that. So he managed to clear the best threshold, so he's unlocked for Heat 2 the Fatalita,
Yeah.
Fatalita, Italian. Assoluto, if you couldn't tell, Italian manufacturer in universe. So essentially, he's driving what was the cover car / hero car from the previous installment, Rage Racer, and it's the only returning vehicle from that game as well. So, after this stage, he's going to progress on to Heat number 3. So, from there, he's going to have the Infinito, which is, the best car he can get for this specific heat. And then afterwards, the Squallow, which is used for the final race. We're not there yet. So, other than that, what else we can really cover?
Ooh, that was close.
Speaking of cars and teams and all this kind of, nonsense or whatever, the world record for this particular category uses Pack Racing Club and Assoluto, which is interesting considering for normal any percent, the optimal combo is usually Racing Team Sovolo, Assoluto, or Tarazi if you're grip build. So, mind delving into exactly why PRC is optimal and not RTS?
So the reason is because we have to play the extra trial mode. Depending on which team you select and the combo, you're racing a specific course of Grand Prix mode. There are 8 tracks. We're still in number 4, so we're about to reach the track that this particular combination takes place in extra trial, and it's the shortest track of the game by far.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's so short that you save 70 seconds with Pack Racing Club in comparison to Racing Team Solo. With all manufacturers except Tarazi. You may be wondering, why wouldn't Tarazi be optimal for Pack Racing Club? The reason is, you see, as there are 8 courses, and 4 different teams, 4 different manufacturers. Right. So if the country of your manufacturer matches that of the team that you are selecting, you're racing in a different course in comparison to the other manufacturers. Let's take a Pack Racing Club for example. If you select Assoluto, Lizard, or Aj Solo, your extra trial will take place in Phantomile. However, if you're racing with Terazi, which is a Japanese manufacturer, with Pack Racing Club, which is a Japanese team, your extra trial will take place in Shooting Hoops. It's the final course of the game. It has 6 laps. It's about as long as Phantomile lap time per se, but because you have twice the amount of racing to do, it's considerably slower than the other manufacturers, sorry. So it's not optimal to select this combo for this particular mode. And the combination that produces the fastest overall time is Pack Racing Club Assoluto because of this reason.
Mm-hmm.
If you compare the Grand Prix mode times of Racing Team Solo and Pack Racing Club directly, it's about a 55 seconds difference. But because you save about 70 seconds in extra trial, you actually get a 15-second save with Pack Racing Club in comparison. That is why this combo is the optimal choice for this miscellaneous category. And here we got a new card, the Infinito.
Alright, so here we are at the aforementioned Phantomile, where you're going to be seeing this again soon enough, shall we say. The popular nickname for this track in the R4 community is Smol, which, I mean, think about it. Don't think too hard, but think about it. But yeah, so each lap here is about 30 seconds. So that kind of raises the stakes a little bit, because in heat number 3, you have to win each race regardless. So you have 90 seconds essentially to get from last place to first as quickly as you can, which at the higher difficulties, if you're not used to it, that's quite a tall order. But Maverick here is just an amazing gamer and has, you know, a massive R4 fan since, I want to say, childhood,
Yeah.
So he's got all this on lock. So as you can tell, like a lap and a half in, he's already in first. So
usually Phantomile is that one course for many players of Ridge Racer Type 4, because cars are suddenly they're pretty fast. You have to win the race. I remember struggling as a kid way back when. Oh, we got another gold.
Yep.
It can't be seen on screen, but I got a gold in Edge of the Earth and Phantomile. We'll take those.
Absolutely.
Here we are, Brightest Night. This is a scary race. It doesn't look like it, but Brightest Night is a pretty scary race. You see one thing? Got a good start. You know you got a good start with this car if you hear 3 laps to go before it's showtime as you cross the starting grid.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was about to say, oh hold on, let me first get this corner. It's a Salto. There we go. One thing about Brightest Night is just driving around like you normally do. These are wide corners, but it's different. I think I'm at a good pace. Okay, there we go. I'm not gonna hit you again like I did last time. There we go. So one thing is to drive around Brightest Night casually, just getting the corners done and whatever. It's a whole different story if you want to do these optimally. As you can see, these, especially the first salto, it's a really long and tight corner, so you really have to get your drifts on point there. And the time differences by getting this course properly and not is absolutely massive.
Do you want to go into the origin of? Do you want to go into the origins of Salto at all?
I think Salto was originated in the previous McRaeathon, where the chat would just shout Salto. Was it Brian who created this? I don't remember. It means jump.
I heard about it through you.
Yeah, it is.
Means, it means jump. Yeah.
It literally means jump in both Portuguese, Italian, I think Spanish as well. Almost a one flat. Can we get it this time? Let's see.
So going back to going through optimally, naturally that also weaves into how you weave through traffic, you know, the AI opponents that you're racing against. So is there anything in particular that sets PRCs apart from, you know, the other teams or whatnot? So in terms of like the car themselves controlling versus like the AI cycles.
If you pay close attention, you'll notice that the AI cycles of PRC and RTS are very similar. Racing Team Sovolo is the hard difficulty and the optimal choice for any percent. They are very similar. Okay, you overtake the AI cars a little bit later than Racing Team Sovolo, but it's not by much. But it does so in a way that most passings are actually easier than that of a hard difficulty. And with every race and every difficulty and the car that you play also, the AI cars are set to run at a specific speed when you get close to them. And each of the AI gears, and speaking of which, the AI cars all have 4 gears, they don't have 5 or 6 like we do. They also have a programmed value of acceleration to them. So, Back Racing Club, when you compare it to the higher difficulties in Racing Team Sovolo and Dig Racing Team, their accelerations and top speed values are naturally smaller than that of the aforementioned 2. The AI cars, they don't accelerate nearly as much, and when comparing your car's top speed with the AI's, there's a bigger difference than higher difficulties. The AI is also less competent and aggressive here in comparison.
Right.
And this hardest track of the game, for the most part, actually.
If Phantomile was that one track for casual players, this is that other one track for casual players as well.
But what's notable about Heaven and Hell is it's the one track that it's a nightmare regardless of how you play this game. Or you're a casual player, you're a speedrunner, it doesn't matter. You're gonna have problems with this course.
Mm-hmm.
Except, well, if you're playing McRaeathon, you know, all is pretty easy. You can take some corners full speed, benefit of easy difficulty. But we leave those for another occasion. Too easy. Unless, of course, you were saying, forgot to say that we have a miscellaneous category in oh, I think I let go off the accelerator for a bit. Sorry about that. Was pressing too lightly. We have a miscellaneous category called any custom AI any percent, which we race Grand Prix as normal, except that we use Game Shark codes to alter the difficulty that we are playing. So say you're playing McRaeathon and you want to increase it to expert difficulty, well, feel free to do so. It's actually a really fun experience. Hard though.
Yep. Doesn't really make it as much of a cakewalk anymore when you're driving Micromouse Mappy, which are the slowest cars, but you have, say, DRT AI, in which case every other car on the track is driven by Max Verstappen.
That's essentially it. It's actually one curious thing to notice is the first 4 races of the game, the fastest cars are actually not the DRT AI, but Racing Team Solvos. That is because of the way that this game works. Dig Racing Team, the expert team, the performance of your cars varies greatly depending on how well you race in Grand Prix mode. They start off really slow, just barely faster than Micromouse Mappy. But if you perform perfectly, your Heats 3 and 4 car will actually outrun Racing Team Sovalus, which is they normally have the fastest cars. So if you want a real challenge with Micromouse Mappy, then race with Racing Team Sovalus AI in the first 4 races, change it to Dig Racing Teams at stage 3, and then back to Racing Team Solvalu for the final race, which is this one, Shooting Hoops. We have a new car. You will have a tough time, though. Oh, sorry, Thresher?
If you were expecting the final race of the championship to be this very twisty, intricate, complex track, no, it's actually a very high-speed track where if you even think of letting off the gas or using the brakes, you have just severely crippled your chances of winning. Like, this is a track that very much demands that you are flat out pretty much the entire time, and you need to manage your lines very well.
Basically, this is the equivalent, this is the R4 equivalent of Rage Racer's Extreme Oval. I think that was the first game that featured a high-speed track, wasn't it? I don't think Ridge Racer Revolution had an oval track, did it?
It did not. Ridge Racer Revolution had 3 particularly twisty courses. Ridge Racer 1 had 2 kind of twisty courses, but nothing as flat out as an oval or, not quite an oval, but, oval-like that this one is.
We are already at first place. Look at that.
And not even half the race is done yet.
So that's the difference of an edgy con with the manual tricks. It does wonders to this game.
Yeah. So a fun little lore thing for y'all. You've probably been noticing that there's been dates before, shown on screen before every single race. This one's very significant because in-universe, the organizers decided to hold the final race about 15 minutes before midnight on New Year's Eve. So, when you cross the finish line, it's New Year's Day and you win. Which I thought was a very neat little touch.
So can I see a 29-100? Let's see. It's tough with this car. Let's see if I can manage it. Oh, funny thing. And Thrasher's gonna like this. He's a Lizard fan. In spite of Assoluto having a higher top speed than Lizard for the most part, Squallow isn't, in fact, the fastest car for this race if you're racing with Pack Racing Club. The title belongs to Lizard Reckless, which is the Lizard equivalent of this car I'm driving right now. Even though its top speed doesn't make it look so, it caps at 199 miles. You can get 29 O's with that car. Normally we would call it a wrap here, as we cross the finish line in Shooting Hoops. But since this says any percent plus, trophy. We have to skip all those. And now an extra mode is unlocked, and it's called Extra Trial. Like we mentioned before, I'm gonna pick a car and race in Phantom Mile.
So, what an extra trial is. You are pitted up against a very highly powered, experimental looking vehicle. And you have to beat that vehicle in a race in one of the tracks. So, they vary by manufacturer, and their paint job varies by what team. So, this is the Assoluto Volcano. And so we are racing on small. So, that little hover tank or whatever is the best car, it's car number 20 out of,
Can you drift, please?
Yo.
Oh, don't worry, I'll win this.
It's just a little spicy. So, for the most part, most of the extra trial opponents pretty much just kind of cruise around the track at a very set speed. So it's not slow enough where, you're going to just easily pass it, but it's also not fast enough where if you fall behind, that's GG's, you're gone. Which I feel like it's a very fair way to kind of handle those extra kind of cars versus the earlier titles where if you let 13 Racing and Ridge Racer 1 get ahead of you, he'll park to give you another chance, but if you mess up that second chance, he's gone.
There we go. Got a rough start.
And when he crosses the line, that's time. So
About
that is
now.
GG's.
That was a 30.58. Just under 31 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was our first block of Ridge Racer Type 4. I figure we could showcase this extra car. I think we have some time. So when you clear Grand Prix mode on the first time, you have 8 slots in Garage mode. The first 8 cars that you obtain are automatically added to your garage, with the exception of the extra car. You have to manually select them in the garage. You select a combo, and here it is, the Volcano. Look at this top speed.
You'll also notice it's sort of hovering. Like you do not see any tires touching the ground on that thing.
Oh yeah, it's a real hover car. It has no tires whatsoever. When you drift it, you don't hear tire sounds, because there aren't any. So yeah. So that was the first block of R4. I think then I'll pass the word to Viper.
Good.
Alright, thank you very much. Maverick, for that first run in our third block. We've got all extra trials coming up next. So it's going to go to a quick intermission. When we come back, a couple of minutes, we'll have our next Ridge Race Type 4 on. So don't go anywhere. See you soon.